Do you need a Xanax? What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Sierra. This video, we're going to be figuring out who is the better duo, Clare and Alli or Emma and Manny. So we're gonna break it down roughly season by season, doing the best that we can, talk about these characters, and really ultimately trying to figure out who's the better duo, plus some other side notes that I would love to mention at the end of the video. First, we're gonna dive into Emma and Manny. So starting off with them, Emma is very straightforward, very opinionated, very passionate, headstrong, a tad, I'm being generous, a tad self-centered. We all know it's more, but you know, we're being nice here, at least a little bit. Manny is funny, charismatic, naive, and she's a hopeless romantic, which pretty much leads to a lot of the issues that Manny has throughout the show. So let's start off with the beginning. So Emma and Manny are introduced season 1, episode 1, obviously the kicker for Degrassi, the next generation, because we wouldn't have a next generation if it wasn't for Emma. Thanks Spike for giving birth to her and keeping the baby, because we would not have a show anyway. At the beginning, obviously in the first 2 episodes, we get Emma's situation with quote unquote Jordan. I'm not gonna spoil it for y'all. If y'all have never seen the show, y'all need to watch it because they started off with a banger. I will tell you that. And this was like in what, 2003 or something like that. They started off wild, okay? Like they really went for it. And later on throughout the season, Manny actually wants to be a cheerleader. Emma's hardcore judging her for it, being like, oh my god, cheerleaders are stupid, cheerleaders are blah 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 blah, blah. Got her nose stuck up in the air, which I don't get, because I've always wanted to be a cheerleader. I've always admired cheerleaders, because it's like, can you do a backhand double handspring? Like, can you twist your body? Can you do any of those moves? No, you can't. It's literally like defying physics sometimes, I swear. And just a lot of like upper body strength and just workout in general. Like, cheerleading is a sport. I don't care what anyone has to say. Argue with your mama, not me. Season 2, we get Manny and Emma. They're both into Craig, and they're both trying to get his attention. Emma's not so much. She's like interested in him, but not as interested in him as Manny is, because Manny's making it very obvious. She's like, I want that man. He is mine. I don't care. I want that. I want him. And I get it, girl. Especially she's young. We know she's a hopeless romantic. Her dad don't let her go anywhere or do anything. So she's very much like, oh my god, this will be like my handsome prince to take me away. Or like, oh my god, this will be like a love story type of thing. Very fantasy-esque type of situation. That's what Manny really embodies as a character. And Craig ends up liking Manny. Luckily, Emma isn't spiteful. She actually helps her like get ready for the date. And things are going cutesy, so far, minus Emma's beginning. But so far, we're introduced to characters. We're introduced to Emma and Manny. We really just get a feel for them as individuals and just how they work so far as friends. Because Emma's very, like I said, very straightforward, very opinionated. Whatever literally she says the first thing that's on her mind. And Manny is more just like a little bit subdued, a little bit calmer. To me, she's funny as hell. Especially at the beginning when she's like literally having the headphones in at the beginning. She's like, my dad doesn't let me go anywhere. It's like, girl. It kind of reminds me of how when, especially us millennials, when we trauma dump, when someone trauma dumps something specific and everyone just like stares at them, because it's like, oh god, our parents never did that. Are you sure you weren't like abused as a child? Type of thing. It's very like, because it's very normalized in that person's household versus other people's household. I feel like that scene is very much giving that type of situation when you're just like, oh, okay. You're vibing a little bit too hard about that. Season 3, Manny is on a mission to be irresistible after her date with Craig doesn't go well. He's like, nah, you too young for me. Dude. Like, he's like, I'm not doing that with you. And so Emma isn't like outright mean about it, but you can see like how her attitude changes as Manny's attitude changes. Like you can clearly see like a huge difference, especially when it comes to the scene where JT walks up to Manny to like ask her out, and Emma is like off the side. I think I talked about this in another video, how like Emma is like constantly looking at her. It's kind of like as if Emma is watching Manny grow up without her. So maybe there's a little bit of like jealousy that Emma feels towards Manny in this situation, which kind of makes sense, especially when you're like, I'm going to middle school. This is a middle school, high school. Like, it's a quick transition. So it's very much like everyone's in this environment together. There's no like stark separation. So Manny automatically wants to look grown. She wants to be seen as approachable to teenage boys, because she's like, well, that's the school we go to. It's like a middle school combined with high school. Like, you're in the same building. We interact with them all the fucking time. You don't have the same classes with them, but literally you're in the same building, and you hope that maybe they find you attractive, which is, it's muddled. I know, get it, because just weird stages. But when you're in that environment and that's who you're constantly seeing, of course you're going to want to think that you're going to want that the high schooler who's probably 16 years old is into you, because you're there. Like, there's no one else. And then the kids in your grade, you're like, they're immature. He's more mature. You know how we were. You know how it was. Either if you're older than me or even younger than me, you know what it's like to be like in that type of situation. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'll shut the fuck up. So just really adding to that, Manny is like extremely hellbent on getting a lot of male attention, specifically from that specific guy that she was like really into, that she wanted to be seen as attractive to. I forgot his name. I'll insert a picture here. Maybe not. Or you may see him in a clip. I don't know. Whatever I figure out what I want to do. So this is very much like the catalyst for their rocky relationship. So things kind of like tear down a little bit from here. And not to just knock Emma for how she is, but really getting into Manny's personality and Manny's motive for getting all the attention. She really didn't care who she hurt as long as she was getting that guy's attention. What was his name? Like Sandy? I don't know. I do not know. I do not remember. That character was so insignificant. He lasted like, what, 2 episodes? But the actor looks familiar. He might have gone on to do some other projects, because he looks vaguely familiar. Anyway. So that was really naive of her to really try to get that attention, and kind of desperate in the sense. It was a little bit of a whirlwind. So then later on, when Manny gets pregnant by Craig, Emma is the first person to judge her. And I feel like Emma's immediate reaction to that was really just the fact that her mom had her at a young age. So it kind of felt like as if, oh, what if my mom had me aborted or whatever? Now I feel like this is strangely affecting me when it doesn't, which isn't a tribute to a lot of things in society right now. A lot of political stances and just moral stances as well too. Just like, why does someone's pregnancy or choice to not have a child affect you? It's not affecting your household, babe. You still have 2.5 kids. Just the fact that she doesn't want one doesn't affect your 2.5 kids whatsoever. Also, this world is crowded as fuck anyway. Like, let's keep that in mind. I keep rambling. God damn it. I'm gonna focus. So Emma is more like nonchalant about it when it comes to like supporting Manny, but at the same time being judgmental, until she really does blow up at Manny when Manny does consider the abortion when they're in the kitchen, that scene. But really just so far we've seen that Emma is shown to not be a supportive person really. And she constantly leads with criticism. Like, that's her instinct, is to start off with criticizing someone or being very defensive, like with Sean and Sean's brother. As soon as someone says that her column wasn't good, she's like, well, maybe you're wrong. It's like, girl, people are allowed to have opinions. Maybe your piece wasn't that good. You're literally in middle school. It's not going to be like groundbreaking, Nobel Peace Prize winning piece of work. It's just not. Like, get over yourself. But she's so defensive. and so hypercritical of everybody else around her. So it's kind of just like, Jesus Christ, girl, do you need a Xanax? So Manny has to like assert herself for Emma to actually hear her. And that's kind of sad for Manny to have to like overstep just to get Emma to back down. So it's like Emma will cross that line and cross like a little bit further past that line, and then Manny has to like pretty much be like a guard dog for her own self and put that boundary back up, and it makes Emma back up. You shouldn't have to do all that for a friend to listen to you. Also, your friend shouldn't cross your boundaries or shouldn't be testing you like that in the first place. Friends can, you know, criticize each other in a healthy way. So like give important feedback and be like, oh, you know, help each other out in a very responsible and respectful way. But the way that Emma does it is very disrespectful. Everything she does, everyone she talks to, even her own mom, she talks to everyone, even adults, extremely disrespectfully. She does not care for anyone's sense of anything. It's always, you're wrong, I'm right. She does not care. She's very disrespectful. Just putting that like that. We're on to season 4. We don't have any like clear storylines for them together necessarily. I should put this in front of me. God damn it. Anyway, so we have more like individual stories with Manny dating Emma, Manny dating Craig again. That would be interesting. But when Manny was dating Craig again, and Emma's like sexcapades with Jay, because she really didn't do anything, but you know, remember, she gets the bracelet for supposedly doing anything with Jay. We all know what happened, because we had this iconic scene. I'll put it in here.
Tell me about the ravine, Amy. About how you went down on my boyfriend, Amy. And the bracelets you got for it? I didn't sleep with him. By whose definition?
Come on.
Season 5, Manny gets drunk and Peter films her without her consent, and he posts the video. And this is just a side note, but why are a lot of the characters introduced on Degrassi? I've noticed that they'll get introduced in such a shitty way, and then they'll try to redeem them, and they never get fully redeemed. Like, Peter starts off shitty like this, and he ends up not even fully redeemed. I still don't like him. They did the same thing with Jenna. You introduce her as a boyfriend stealer, and at the end, what? What's so special about her? Absolutely nothing. She lucky she didn't Connor. Still don't like her. Same thing with Zoe. You started her off messy, and she ends up still messy. Still don't like her. Why are we doing this? Like, why are we introducing characters in such a terrible way like this, and then trying to redeem them? Declan too. Like, make it make sense, y'all. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Emma gets upset, but then she comforts her after Manny has that whole situation going on. And this is where things really, I say, take off when it comes to how bad it gets for their friendship. Season 6, Emma starts dating Peter. Right. And Manny is living with Emma at this point, because Manny ends up moving out of her parents' house after they find out that she had an abortion. So it's very messy in her household. So she ends up moving in with Emma. There is the eating disorder storyline in there too as well, where Emma goes down that path. Manny, she's like, I can't do this. She's me. She's like, she's like, I cannot commit to all that. She's like, I like food too damn much. I don't need to lose weight that damn bad. But to me, Emma dating Peter is literally, that should have been the end of their friendship. What do you mean? You're literally dating the guy that pretty much filmed your best friend when she's intoxicated, so she didn't even have any sense to consent to that. She didn't consent to that. So he filmed her without her consent and sent the video around the school, and yet you're dating him? Like, let's think to real life. Would you date a guy like that? Would you actually date a guy that sent a video of your best friend drunk to the entire school? Would you date somebody like that? So I don't know why Emma did that. I'm just saying. Eventually, Manny accepts her parents' invitation to go back home. They're gonna figure it out, you know, handle it like a family. Emma doesn't want her to leave. And it kind of feels like as if Emma has like this superiority complex over Manny. If Manny's life is in the slums, Emma feels better about herself. So the fact that Manny is going back home to repair her relationship with her parents, Emma's like, no, just stay with me. It's like, you like saving people. You like saving Manny specifically. You like it when Manny's at her lowest because you feel better than her. When Manny wants to be a cheerleader, you're mad at her for wanting to do something outside of you. And when Manny's going through the whole situation of the pregnancy and the abortion and everything like that, you're there, but you're not really there. Like, it feels like Emma's not fully present as a friend. She's just there, but yet everything has to be centered around Emma at the same time. It's very weird. I don't know. Maybe that's just me who notices that, but it's like she does have like some type of complex over Manny. Whenever Manny's in like despair, Emma feels like better than her, or feels like she has to be taking care of Manny in a way to make herself feel better, or I don't know. It's weird. So if Manny moves out, Emma won't have the control anymore. Their friendship comes to a halt, obviously, because of the Peter situation. It should have been null and voided since then, but yet we get season 7 where Emma's being Emma and she dogs Manny for wanting to be a model for Purple Dragon. And then Emma gets it after dogging this entire thing, and she's walking around like she's on cloud 9 because she got picked. You see what I mean here? Manny is not getting picked for something, and now that Emma's gotten picked, she's like, oh my god, am I better than everybody? Like, girl, what is wrong with you? Something is literally wrong with her. And once she gets like on her moral high ground after getting this air of like, I'm better than everybody, she finally puts back on her woke cap, not even woke cap, her environmental hat, and it's like, no, don't drink Purple Dragon, blah 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 blah. They're trying to make us sound stupid so you can drink it, and she takes off her dress. Anyway, it's so convoluted with Emma as a character. She's just, nothing about her makes any sense to me as a character. Like, it just, nothing adds up. Moving on to college days. They fight over Kelly, which is stupid. If y'all gonna give us their college plot line, give us something better than that. And they didn't. They gave us the same stupid shit. They have them fighting over a guy. Emma marries Spinner eventually, and Manny's supportive. She even gets punched by Jane for her. Jane is a freaking football player, and you're getting punched in the face for this girl who literally dated a guy who sent a video of you without your consent. I would never. I could never be friends with Emma. I could never. And then literally you're getting married and I'm over here getting punched in the face by a football player for you. That ain't gonna work, babe. Moving on to our second duo of this video, Clare and Alli. So in the beginning, we're introduced to our duo, season 8, episode 7. Unlike Emma and Manny, Alli and Clare, they meet each other for the first time at Degrassi, when all of the older siblings are like, oh yeah, by the way, this is my sister, bye. And I'm like, first of all, that's such a lazy way to introduce the siblings on the show, but also at the same time so realistic, because I mean, like, if me and my brother were closer in age and he went to the same high school as me, I'd be like, yeah, that's my brother. Anyway, bye. I got shit to do. Go on about your business. Like, I would do the same thing. But they really bonded over being part of the gifted program together. And Alli does make a slight comment about Clare being a prude. And she apologizes, and how Clare kind of responds, she literally says, isn't it always? Like, Alli is known to make comments like this without thinking and then turning around and apologizing. And it's like, okay. Like, I love Alli, I do, but like when I was like really just like analyzing everything for this video, some things kind of raised a flag for me. And it's like kind of sad that Claire feels as if she has to accept Allie's apology for pretty much just talking bad about her and to her face, really, when she's around. She like makes these kind of comments, and it's like, well, not everybody is the same as you. Not everybody's gonna be open to exploring their sexuality or their attraction to people, and they're not open, especially when it comes to those who are raised really religious. They're not open to, and obviously shunned, banned, whatever you want to call it, from doing anything to their body that is not Christ-like. Like, I'm not surprised, because Claire grew up religious. Like, literally this entire episode of them going to Simpson's house and finding the purple vibrator is really much just really showing that there are teenagers, preteens, who are raised in these kind of households where this is not talked about, and really just normalizing doing those type of behaviors to yourself, because obviously your body is changing, you're going through puberty, things are changing, but there are a lot of parents and a lot of households where they don't talk about it, they don't discuss it, they don't do any of that. So really these kids are growing up pretty much fighting their bodies. They're literally being raised with the mindset of, this is what you need to do, this is how you should be, and their body is like swirling when they see like an attractive guy or attractive girl walk by. Like, and they're so confused and thrown off. They're like, what is happening? No one's talking about this. Do I talk about it? Well, if I talk about it, will I be shunned? Like, is it gonna be a problem? And so it's like really hard for Claire to really navigate this situation with Alli. I think Alli is just like a little bit more out there. She's a little bit more of an extrovert. I feel like Claire's a little bit more of an introvert. She's more reserved, quiet, shy. Alli is a little bit more talkative. That's when she also starts to get sneaky with her wardrobe later on. I think she started off a little bit at the beginning, but not too like, and like, it's not the fact that even that Alli dressed raunchy. She just, it's like sometimes it feels like when she was at home, she had to look a certain way, and so she was literally covering up. She kind of pulled a Manny without pulling a Manny to the extent of how Manny dressed. You know what I mean? Because ain't nobody walking around here with a thong showing like Manny was, okay? But there is a difference in attire, at least at some point, for Alli versus at home and school. Later on in the season, Alli hooks up with Johnny, and she gets scared that she might be pregnant. Claire doesn't judge her and even like helps her get over her fear. Pretty much helps them get back together to at least talk, because Alli did have the scare and Alli handled the situation. And Claire was like, do you still like him? And clearly Alli does, because she's like on the stairs, like not trying to look at him, and he's looking at her, that type of thing. She was like, well, just talk to him at least, like clear the air. And so they end up getting back together anyway. So Claire was really just helpful in that situation. Like, she just did the best she could as like a 14-year-old of just like, oh yeah, that part was scary, you have it handled now, do you still want to be with him? She's not even like being like, oh my goodness, how dare you have sex with him. Claire's not even on that like level. She's not like berating her for it. Like later on, she does make a comment when she says that she doesn't want to do something stupid like Alli did with Johnny, but it's not like how Emma lashed out at Manny for being pregnant. It's like, it feels like it's like a different level. Like Claire honestly believes like, oh yeah, Alli did something stupid, Claire's scared of doing something stupid, but Claire sees it as like, these are just stupid things that we do as preteens. I don't think she really meant it in a way of like, Alli's an idiot or how dare you get pregnant. It's more of like, yeah, we're gonna do stupid shit. But Alli took that more to heart because of that. We actually get a comment from Alli when she says like, oh, is judgy Claire back? And Claire says, you say judgmental, I say principal. And I feel like that's Claire's way of not really judging Alli, but at least noting that, oh, we're different. And obviously we're going to go through things, but how I handle it is different how you're going to handle it. how you're raised is different from how I'm raised in how to react to these certain situations. Because Claire's mom, like pulling it back to Claire's mom, Claire's parents, really, her mom isn't overbearing. She's not like busting down Claire's door and being like, how, you better not be in there doing stuff to yourself. Like, her mom isn't harping on her. She's not like a helicopter mom, but her mom is very, very, I would say, hands-off approach, because my mom was like that too. Her mom is very much has a hands-off approach, where she, like, obviously they raised Claire to be Christian, to be religious, to be mindful of her body and stuff like that, but her mom isn't harping on her about it. So it's just very much like, oh yeah, I raised her with morals, and obviously she'll make the right decision. That type of thing, very hands-off. So I feel like as if Claire wasn't really trying to bash Alli in any way, but it did offend Alli, obviously. Moving on to season 9, Alli starts sending Johnny nudes. Yeah, that was fun. So when the photos get sent to Bruce, they decide to break into his locker to get the phone back, and by they, I mean Alli, Claire, and Jenna, because we get Jenna introduced. Don't like her, never will like her. Anyway, when they find that they have like there's like a long photo card thing. You'll see the clip. I'll put it up here. Jenna's dumbass is all like, oh my god, you guys look so happy, and it's like, who invited this bitch to the party? Like, honestly, who invited her? Like, who said you had any input, babe? Shut up. Claire's the only one with a brain that reminds Alli what he did, which he gave. First, he got Alli pregnant in the first place. Okay. He got Alli pregnant in the first place, and then he gave Alli a STD. Wild, right? Like, Claire's the only one to be like, girl, the track record is tracking, okay? In this case, I swear, I feel like Claire is allowed to judge Alli for this, because it's like, what the hell, girl? With all of this going on, you want to be like, oh my god, let's get back together. I would judge my friend for that, and I believe that Claire is allowed to judge Alli for that, because this is the stupidest thing Alli could ever do. This is the dumbest thing to do, is to literally try to take back a guy who has pretty much gotten you pregnant, or at least she believed she was pregnant. I think the test was positive. I can't remember. She was going through like a frenzy. She had a lot of anxiety at the time, but she had a pregnancy scare. He gave you an STD, and then he sent your naked photos to Bruce. Leave that man alone. Leave him alone, girl. Leave him alone. So she confides in Jenna, out of all people. I feel like Jenna has never been really a good friend to Claire, obviously, because she steals Casey from Claire. And yet Claire is constantly worried about Alli, but Alli never tells her anything about what's going on. She's confiding in Jenna, out of all people, which makes no sense, because Alli was the first person to clock that Jenna was weird. She was the first person to clock that Jenna was messy. She said, this bitch, she cannot be trusted. As soon as Jenna finds out that Claire is with Casey, she's like, oh my god, he's so cute. But don't worry, I won't look at him. Alli clocked at the beginning, but now Alli is trusting Jenna. That made no sense. That makes no sense. I don't know if the writers remember what they wrote, but this shows complete loss of track of everything. Like, they lost track of what the actual friendship was like. They lost the dynamic. They forgot. They must have had a break or something like that. It came back and then started writing some more, or I don't know, maybe the page got lost. Like something, because that's not what it was like. And then when Claire finally finds out from Alli what that Johnny gave her an STD, Claire's not even mad. She's just like, oh, damn it, Alli. And I was like, well, it's time for him to feel what I feel. And Claire's just like, supports her. It's just like, okay, let's take this bitch down, like, type of thing. Claire's immediately not even mad at her for even confiding in Jenna more than her. Claire was too nice about that. I've been like, first of all, ho, you didn't even like her. That's what I'm saying. Like, a page must have been lost when they were filming this and when they were writing. Like, I don't get it. So skipping the KC mess, just really like just fast forwarding past that. Alli supports Claire once Jenna shows Alli how of a terrible person she is. She's always been a terrible person. Anyway, so Claire wants to win Casey back, and Alli is all for like trying to do this plan and win him back. Like, Claire's trying to like spice herself up, trying to make her seem more interesting. So this is when she starts, like, when she gets like in her writing slip, she starts writing better. That's when she meets Declan and she wants to sound cool and all that kind of stuff, which I get it, girl, because you're like, well, I'm shy, I'm awkward, no one really pays attention to me. Casey's so cool, he's a basketball player, and now he's trying to date, and now he's dating Jenna. Oh no, we gotta nip this in the butt. I gotta be cooler than her, type of thing. Like, you know, your boy playing into that. So I get it. So this is the time that Alli actually ends up being a friend to Claire. Let's say that. Season 10. Alli wants to be popular, so she goes back to pretty much kissing ass to, God damn it, I forgot the name of the squad. The cheerleading squad. I'm just gonna call them the cheerleaders. And goes back to being friends with Jenna once she's able to get on the team, or at least like when she was like trying to kiss up to Shantae to get on the team. That's when she really starts kissing up to Jenna, which I get it, Alli. Like, you wanted to have your own thing. Claire's over here being part of the newspaper and all that kind of stuff, but why would you go to a place where there's the girl that you do not like? I don't get it. I would not want to be in the same room with a girl that literally fucked over my best friend. Because if I did, it would be on site. Claire and Alli are still friends, but as the show continues, Alli becomes really close to Jenna. Especially throughout Jenna's pregnancy, we constantly see Jenna and Alli together. What are they trying to do? Replace Claire? Get more independent journeys, so that's like roughly it for season 10. Season 11, Claire and Eli break up. Allie's there for her and encourages her to date Jake, which is supportive. Claire gets so wrapped up in her own drama with Jake, her mom, his dad dating each other, that she actually calls Allie's problems pedestrian when Alli comes over to help her get ready before the wedding, type of thing. Alli kisses Jake at the cabin, and Claire blows up and lets Jake off the hook and really severs their friendship for a while. Eventually, Claire apologizes when she needs help for the paper, and Alli calls her out for it, which is granted, rightfully so, because she did technically say that to get some help for the newspaper. But at the same time, though, it's like, girl, you do not have the best track record of being a good friend, and the one time that Claire messes up, you immediately blacklist her. I don't approve Claire dogging Alli and letting Jake off the hook. Like, I don't condone that. I don't condone that at all. But Allie's track record is shit when it comes to being a friend. And now you want to hold a grudge against her for this one thing when you haven't been a good friend whatsoever. Make it make sense. But eventually, Alli gets over it and they all start to help out. And then, this is where something that pisses me off. Sorry that my mic went over that way. But this is what pisses me off. When Connor and KC, out of all people, are the first ones to help Claire. KC, mind you, cheated on Claire with Jenna, and he's one of the first people to help Claire. And then they say that they find these two, they find Alli and Jenna. Alli is like, oh, like, do you need more help or whatever? Like, they say, oh, you know, was there something like, oh, we're your minions or whatever. Claire, you know, whispers, thank you. They give each other like an apologetic like smile. And then Jenna is just like, oh, I'm here to help too. You're over that KC mess, right? So you mean to tell me that's the dialogue y'all use? First of all, that's the dialogue y'all use. You mean to tell me this entire fucking time Claire never apologized to Claire? And you want me to think that Jenna's not a good person. This entire time, you've never said anything to Claire and now that you're there, you expect her to just be fucking over it? Casey should apologize too, but the audacity of Jenna to be like, oh, you're over that, right? Oh, you're entitled. Okay, we know what kind of person you are. You're not a good person. You're not a good person at all, because you've never apologized. You've never ran into her like in between. Like we should have gotten scenes in between of maybe Jenna trying to talk to Claire to apologize or something like that, and maybe Claire doesn't want to hear it at first. Like, I get it, but really we don't get anything. The only thing we really got was when Claire helped KC cheat, and then Jenna's over here like, oh my god, thanks for helping him cheat. Now we can go make out. That's not even saying thank you. No. Jenna never apologized. And what, Claire's supposed to get over it? Absolutely not. And Claire lets it go again. She's like, oh, I got over that Casey thing ages ago. I would pip slap that hoe. I'm sorry. She would have got a slap. Jenna has never taken accountability for being a bad friend, and yet Ellie sticks her neck out for Jenna more than she's ever stuck her neck out for Claire. Interesting. Sum all of this up, because obviously later on they're all like the best friend trio type of thing, getting ready for prom together and all that cute stuff or whatever, and I don't buy it whatsoever. No thanks. In conclusion, morally, Claire and Alli are a better duo than Emma and Manny, purely because Emma dated a guy that literally filmed her best friend without consent and spread her videos throughout the school. I don't know why you would date a guy like that. That doesn't make any sense to me. You dating a guy that violated your best friend. Emma cares so much about the earth and about animals, but she doesn't give a fuck about human decency. She doesn't give a fuck about other people's feelings. She doesn't. Because if she did, she wouldn't have been a big cunt that she's been the entire time on the show. Just filming this, I think I just realized how much I hate Emma. I've never really cared for Emma, but just like putting this all together, Emma's one of the worst characters on the show. She's like, she surpasses a lot of characters. Like, she's probably like right behind Rick. Let's be quite honest. Of irredeemable characters. Oh, when you really think about it. But that's just my list. That has to be another video. Yeah. That has to be another video. Anyway, so yeah, there's just so many, I feel like there's also just so many gaps of Claire and Alli's friendship that's not shown. Plus, Alli's unexpected friendship with Jenna is what's so mind-boggling to me. Like, literally, the show set up Alli and Claire to be best friends. And then literally, as soon as Jenna's introduced, everything gets immediately tossed to the wayside, and now Alli and Jenna are best friends, and Claire just does everything else around the school, getting involved with Eli, being best friends to Adam, and all that other stuff. But we never see Claire and Alli together anymore, really. We see Alli with Jenna, which makes no sense. It's like, did y'all forget that that was the initial friend duo that y'all had? Like, I don't know. I don't know if maybe the actress Aza Paul couldn't be on set as much. Maybe she was doing something. I don't know. I don't know why. And whoever plays Jenna, I forgot her name. I don't know. I don't know what the freak was going on, like, behind the scenes. But it just makes no sense how Alli is literally best friends with Jenna and not best friends with Claire, which was the initial relationship and friendship. Plus, when you follow the storyline of what everything happened leading up to pretty much when they graduated, just like how I did in this video, Alli is not a good person. She's not a good friend. She's not. That's like the ultimate conclusion, is that even with really just like sitting here and like breaking down Alli, Claire, Manny, and Emma, Claire and Manny deserved better friends, because Alli made so many mistakes and put Jenna before Claire several times, And as soon as Claire makes one mistake, Alli chastises her. Claire should have been the one to chastise her in the beginning when Alli was all buddy-buddy with Jenna. But we didn't see that. We see Claire get over it, or at least they portrayed Claire as getting over it immediately, all because she has her focus on Eli and she's dating somebody. No, if that was my best friend and my best friend literally ended up being best friends with the bitch that stole my man, I'll be cutting both y'all asses off. I would not want to talk to either one of you, but yet we constantly saw scenes of Claire and Alli together with the same bag, giggling and laughing. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. When you really think about it, Claire and Manny literally deserved better friends, because all Manny did, she was being a little stuck up at the beginning when she wanted to be hot, which normal dumb mistakes that teenagers and preteens do. Manny has always been a better friend to Emma than Emma was to her. Emma constantly was, like I said, Emma's a very self-centered character. She didn't give a fuck about anybody else. She didn't care about Manny with the Peter situation. She didn't care about Sean with the Peter situation at the beginning, until Peter got in trouble, and then immediately goes back to Sean. And then even then, it's weird because Sean is like, I want to go into the army or whatever. And then pretty much he's all like, oh, will you wait for me? Or like they still have like some bunny romance. And then we get Emma with Damien out of all people. And then Emma even being jealous of Liberty pretty much because she didn't want Liberty to date, what's his name? The rapping man, Chris. Because it would be an embarrassment. Emma had no sense of care for any human whatsoever. All she cared about was those damn koalas and the whatever animal that they had to do a project on, the turtle. Emma has more care about animals than she does human beings. Emma's a terrible person and a terrible friend. Alli should have done a lot better, because Claire had been by your side, and there were some things, girl, where I would judge you too. Like, friends are allowed to be like, girl, really? We gonna do that? But Claire has never once berated her for her decisions. She had never made Alli feel like shit for just being human. And then the one time that Claire makes a dumb choice, Alli is the one to pretty much just dog her on that. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, oh Lord. Please let me know in the comments below, which duo do you think is the best, and just any input on any of the characters. Please drop that below. If you like this video, be sure to like this video. Like, comment, subscribe, hype up the video if you want to. Don't care. And until next time, stay magical. Bye.